You're still watching Power Lunch South Africa. Now, following the 2015 Fees Must Fall protest that put the South African government underwater with a lot of criticism at the government's funding model. But recently, the National Student Financial Aid Scheme has launched a second fundraising initiative in partnership with the SABC Foundation and Vodacom Foundation. Joining us now to tell us more is the General Manager of NSFAS, General Manager for Loans and Bursaries, that is Jomo Jacobs. He joins us from our Cape Town studios. Good to have you with us today, sir. I understand that this recent launch of a new campaign came through just last week, but provide us with an understanding, an in-depth one, if you may, of the new funding model. Just how exactly does it work?
Yeah, the new model that NSFAS have just launched, which we call the Fundathon, it's an initiative by NSFAS to bring South Africans to the table in terms of trying to assist young people in our country who would want to study at the university or a TVET college but would not have funding. The model is based on an SMS system. You send an SMS to 49919, which costs about 30 rands. And that is by the public, anybody who would want to make a donation, who feels that they need to be playing part in assisting the country. And by this, we're trying to say, let's, as citizens of South Africa, take this as an opportunity to make a difference. Because one of the mandates that we have as NSFAS is to raise funding for the students. We're sitting now at about 14.9 billion that come from different funders, including money that comes directly from government, and we would want to grow that pool and to see more and more young people benefiting and being able to complete their studies.
You mentioned that you have 14.9 billion that you're sitting at the moment. How much is the shortfall? And having said that, how much do you hope that these donations via SMS will actually create to cover the shortfall?
Look, the shortfall is quite big, considering that the number of young people who are now getting into university is increasing every year. We have seen the number of bachelor passes and matric increasing. As the university expand, the need also expand. And also we've got different categories of students that need different assistance. Now, those students that would not be able to make a contribution at all because of their family income profile, there are those that would call the missing middle that could make some contribution into their education. And those are different. So would constantly, what we need to do is to make sure that we accommodate as many young people as possible. And our initiative has started by NSFAS and starting to say to South Africans, we've heard the call that most young people want to be university, they want to participate in the economy, and let's continue to raise even more funding so that we can be able to afford to give to as many students as possible. The government has announced that any first-year student that would however, being eligible for NSFAS but does not have funding to go through university, the universities must register those students. And we have requested through government has requested that all those students through the Department of Education that are in that particular position, the universities should send the information to us and the department so that we can assess in actual fact this year alone how many students who would be coming for the first time into the sector that need funding but otherwise does not have funding to take them through this year.
Jomo, one of the biggest criticisms for NSFAS is the fact that you supply these students with funding, you get them through the system, they qualify, they're educated, they enter the workforce, and they don't pay back the money. How are you looking to get beneficiaries to repay some of the donations that they have received on the behalf of NSFAS?
We have another campaign of increasing our recoveries, and part of the initiatives that we have set up is to robustly start now to recover the money from the people who have studied through NSFAS, who are employed and can afford to pay back, to actually pay back. And we are contacting those people, and we are following all the avenues provided to us through the National Credit Act. And we appeal to all South Africans that if NSFAS would have otherwise assisted you to get a qualification, we ask you to actually make a contribution back. Because NSFAS as well, one of the things that we have just done recently was to remind the people that are paying NSFAS back, or all the debtors of NSFAS, that we have increased the interest by 1% because the repo rate went up. We still charge interest only 12 months after you have completed studying, and we're still charging 80% of the repo rate. And if you could have passed every year, if you get a loan and you pass all your modules, we give you 40% back as a bursary. And when you pass in your final year, we give you a bursary for that particular year. So the money that you actually pay back, it's just but a portion, and a small portion for that matter, of the money that has been advanced to you. We are just saying, in so doing, that assist us to assist others. So it's not even a loan as in a true sense of a commercialized loan that we're asking you to pay back. We're just asking you to make a contribution.
Jomo, thank you so much for your time today. We certainly hope to get you back on the channel to follow up on the developments, as well as the amount of funding that has been raised by this new model, including beneficiaries paying it forward. But a big thank you to NSFAS General Manager for Loans and Bursaries, Jomo Jacobs.